Thanks for staying with us. So, you know, when you grow up and they're telling you, don't forget the house of where you're coming from, be your father's child, be your, family, your family name is so important to you. So we saw a message by a young man, Abba Bichi. He says, on a short notice to all Nigerian media houses and blogs, please stop addressing me as the son of the DG DSS. Address me by my full name, Bichi Yusuf Abba. The office holder should be addressed as that, not me. I have all the right to charge anyone who does that because he's his own person. DG DSS is not a family title, but a national title to the holder of the office. So, you know how they say the governor's son or the president's son? You know, when the young man had an accident sometime, we hadn't even heard his name, just kept saying the president's son, you know? So this young man is saying, stop addressing me with my father's office. Yeah. Address me as who I am. Because he's about to, I think he just got a deal, international football deal, and he wants to be known for who he is. But as Nigerians, because it is who our father is that sometimes they attach with who we are. Should we now start thinking of, okay, maybe let me dissociate myself from what my father is or who is known as? Because that's what people know you are. That's how they reckon with you in this part of the world, from your father you're coming from.
Yeah, okay, so I understand it, but I also understand who people that will refer to him on his father is to give context. Did you understand? Okay, this is this person, the son of this person. I don't think it's always wrong, but I can understand how unpalatable it will be to someone like that, especially someone who is a footballer and he has achieved things in his own right. And it seems that his father's shine, he's been overshadowed by his father's office. And so maybe if you're having an interview, you're at media, and you expect to be referred to as Moriah Falabi Brown, host of Your View, but what you get is the daughter of, never, every time they refer to you, never about your own accomplishment. I can understand how irritating that may be. But they say success has many friends. So your father is a good thing. Your father is in a respectable office. They call you by that. Imagine if it was an armed robber or a 419 and they keep referring you to, to that name. I can understand why you say, please, this is who I am. I have separated myself from this person. I have carried myself with integrity. And so put that aside. But it's always good to give adults their due respect, which is address them by their names. But we also know of children that want to be addressed by their father's name by force, by fire. When you call them by their name, they will remind you who their fathers are, who their mothers are, who their uncle is, or their cousin of their cousin is. So I guess it depends on who you are.
So imagine Dangote's daughter. Yeah, please, Dangote's daughter.
Yeah. If you were Dangote's daughter, you would still not want them to be calling you Dangote's daughter. You have made a name for yourself. So most times, people who want to take on a name like you must see me as my father's son or my father's daughter is because they have not found their own identity. They are not strong in their own identity. When you are strong in your own identity, it is natural for you to want people to recognize you for the hard work that you have put in. It's also something I do not like because I feel society has a way of attaching only to the big success, not giving room for other people to grow. So your father has made a name somewhere and everybody just wants to attach you and attach everybody around how many circumference to that big success, not giving room for people who are striving to be their own person, to be who they are. So for me, do not call me by any other person's name. Call me by my name. If tomorrow I do anything, let me take responsibility. Don't attach me. Because sometimes what we see is because of the attachment, people are not left to live how they want to live. Let me not do all that. So that they won't say that is this person's father. And even they put a lot of pressure on the children. So if you see very successful people who have made names, raising children, you see them, you don't bring embarrassment to the family name. Don't do this. You know whose son you are. You know this and that. And it doesn't give children the opportunity to explore. I remember there was a time this pastor's son came on the show. The one that just lost this, Udukoya's son, came on the show. And he was saying that he was put under a lot of pressure growing up because everybody just saw him as a pastor's son. You must not do this. You must not do that. You must be a certain way. And it was confusing to him, trying to find who he really was. So let us, acknowledge people for who they are. Forget about the father's name. This is Moriah now. We don't want to. The father has done, your father has done his. and he has gone. This is who you are. We should respect you enough to see the progress that you're making.
2 things.
That's me.
So you're building a name today.
Yeah.
And your children are likely to benefit because those names, the name that you're building today will open the door for your child in the future. So, that was Obiajulubo's child. You know what? Because I know your mother was the biggest international, whatever, hair manufacturer, whatever, exporter, importer, because I know that credibility. I'm going to invite you for a meeting. It opens the door for your child.
Yes.
So, are we therefore saying that, no, don't see me as Obiajulu's daughter, just see me as who I am?
No, when it opens the door. So the thing is...
No, you can't open the door. No. I'm not that shit. You can't open the door again because you have dissociated myself.
Let's leave it. Let's contextualize this. Of course, now me born the pikin now. So the seeds I'm sowing today, even if I'm not alive to reap it tomorrow, it should go to my children because I'm sowing good seeds. So it's natural that it opens the door. But when you are relating to that person, after the door has been opened, please see that person you are relating to. That's what my point is.
So we are saying for that door to open, we must acknowledge the name. So there are people that their name is Tope Johnson. Your father Johnson has the biggest name ever. You now put Tope Johnson Odige, so that people will remember that Johnson is your father because that Johnson is going to open doors for you. Now, should we say we shouldn't put the Johnson because Tope Makodigbe wants to make her own name? That's the question.
The question is you're in a hurry. You're in a hurry to get that identity that you think the society must give to you.
Not must.
No, you want it. You are saying it's a must now.
Yes.
They will eventually.
It will come.
It will come.
Yeah.
But never you, I think, well, me, I'm Muslim. I cannot stop being my father's daughter. I am Akashat, Akohia, it's Abema's granddaughter. I am not going to apologize to anybody for that. And whatever success I make is tied to the ascendance that I had. That's how it is. You're in a hurry. You are the footballer. A time will come. Nobody knows Ronaldo's father now. A time will come, they will not bother about that, who your father is. But you're now successful. You're a successful part of your father. Why are you saying they should not call you your father? You'll be a Papa Pekin. Leave that thing. If you were an armed robber, you want to get plea, you'll be asking, am I no longer my father's daughter? My father has done something where he has built something. Now that you become a successful extension of your father, why do you want people to forget that part? Quick.
So you're saying that we should acknowledge and continue to attach ourselves to the name that father
extension
made
of your father.
So what if your father was a failure?
Not until it becomes a thing you can use. Let it still be the thing that you're attached to. That is not until you need to use it, but that is a description of you. Be proud about it.
If your father was a failure,
then choose not to use it.
If your father was a failure
and he was a nobody,
you are the successful extension of that failure.
So they should still use your father to judge you.
Not to judge you, to know you. You have become a better part of him. Wait, not to judge you, to know you.
Yes.
That failure had a child who became successful. Yes. What do you want to say because he has failed? He's no longer your father.
So when they want to call you, you understand my point?
They will call you your Papa Pekin. Are you going to change your surname?
No, me, I believe
you've heard your point. Let me jump in.
So I think you got, that's what I was trying to say. It gives context. When I started in the beginning, I said, no, calling your father's name or your family name gives context. So if your father is a successful person, it shows that success runs in their blood. Oh. Can you imagine DG's son, footballer now, and the one doctor? And then if it's a failure, you'll be like, this one came and he changed the story. So for me, I think it's just an annoying issue, not a do or die affair. It's just a little annoying. Look at me now. Look at all the ball I've been playing. You guys, you don't see me. So especially with entertainers, athletes like this, because you're constantly, you see your mates, they are being given accolades based on what they have done. We have musicians. I remember YK's brother, Femi, when he first came out, it was tough. Now people kept constantly comparing him to Fela. He doesn't sound like his father. Oh, his father sang better. Oh, no, constantly until he was able to make a name for himself. And today, that Fela gave him a platform, but he has built on it and he has become Femi Kuti today. Yeah. There are countries now in the world that he goes that is just his name that they call.
Yes.
So are we telling this young man, Bichi, Yusuf, that accept that your father is DG DSS? Is his papa?
Now, I'm going to be DG DSS.
What you should be grateful that he's not an armed robber.
So another thing is, if he's rejecting this name, he has a reason that he may not come out to say. people grow up differently and they see things that they don't want to replicate. Okay, you have your life, you've lived your life. Can you leave me alone now to move on and live my life? And if he says, I don't want it, they should respect him. He's a human being himself. He's a full-blown adult, and he can choose to be called by his own name. I think that should be respected. Some people have grown from families where they feel, it's not like they have done anything bad, though, but I just don't want to be associated with this sort of story. Let me go out there and find my way. Then I go out there and find my way, and you now want to drag me back. What is it now? He's an adult. They should respect him. But he doesn't want his father's name for whatever reason. They should call him by his own name. If tomorrow he changes his mind and says, okay, I'm now the son of the so and so, call me by that, they should call him by the name. It shows respect. But to constantly have somebody in front of you and refer to that person as your father's this, your father's that, what's here for my name, lost?
But in his own case, just to give a little, it's not his father's name that he's refusing. It's the office that he's talking about. There's an office constantly calling me DG's son, president's son. You can call me by my, maybe call me by my youngest son.
That's the office belongs to any Nigerian who takes that office now. Yes. Why do you want to attach the office to the son? Did he work for the office?
So really, that's really the conversation.
You know, Mariah, they'll refer to your children as Mariah's children, the host of.
So I'm saying, so as I said, we're all building our names right now, and our children at some point they will definitely refer to them as, oh, that's Nima Akashat Zibiri's daughter.
Yeah.
We have something that is our tradition in Africa. We do Oriki. That's what they call it in Yoruba. We call our identity up to the beginning of our ancestry. We identify with it. It's not something we joke with. That's being African. I don't want to talk about Islam because I do it a lot. But as Africans, you're part and parcel of wherever you're originating from. Their ways, what they did, their history and everything. And you just come and say, I'm not modern. I'm who I am. How you be? Who you be?
I wanted to also add, because you said something, I don't think it's wrong to bring up a child and say, this is the family that you come from. And even parents, even families that they do not have anything, they can say, in our family, we have integrity.
Yes,
this is the family that you came from, a family of integrity. So when you go out there, make sure that you push that, you are the ambassador for my family. I don't think it's a wrong way to raise a child.
No, it's not a wrong way to raise a child, but also give the child room to find another path. If, peradventure, the family path is not working for that child, the child doesn't have to conform with everything the family is doing because that child came from this family. Understand that individuals come with their own different packages and nurture your child in his package. That was my point there. You know the way we say, this tribe, you mentioned Edo and I say, all Edo people, we know that they used to do so and so. All this one, you see how we reject that, excuse me, it's not every Edo person, or it's not every Delta person, or it's not, that's how it is.
All right, any messages that we can wrap up?
Bilkis says, if I want to tweak this convo, I will remind us that we have gender preference. The man carrying on his family's name. I have chosen my surname against my married name on social media for personal reasons. Emu says it's even more common in the West for people to attach their name to their children. However, it depends on how they use it. Cole Williams says, what is the world turning into? What kind of values do we have now? Kai.
Okay, we have to wrap up. So just, I think, in a nutshell, your papa picking connect, but I say regardless, but also allow people to find their own path. That's it. So before we run off, we just wanted to remind us on the contact for the Linus Okori conference coming up. I think you call the number 08157-919-770 or go to gotv.africa.com to get more information. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.